I can use this. Let's see if the Zoom app works. Sometimes the Zoom app works and it's very nice timer. I've
Okay,
been using that. And there are one, two, three, four, five of us. So you want to do 4 minute turns?
great.
All right. So I have these this high-tech thing here. So first of all, would you like to briefly introduce yourselves? Yeah, let me start recording. We are recording.
I can
Um,
start. My name's Gyatso. I'm in Newport, Washington right now. Um, I've just been doing empathy circles the past 2 years, I think, so I'm still kind of new. Nice to meet you.
hmm. And I'm Janna, and I realized that I didn't introduce myself, but just another empathy circle facilitator. But I'm here in New York City, and I'd love to get empathy circles started in person in New York City. I've been doing them for 4 years, and yeah, I'm doing empathy circle facilitator trainings as well. And yeah, would you like to briefly introduce yourselves?
Hi,
Mhm.
I'm Jane. I'm in Weston, Connecticut right now, so that's nice. Usually I'm in New York City, but it's nice to be here. And I've never been in an empathy circle, but I do pursue a lot of spiritual study.
Wonderful. Where are you? Where did you say you were?
Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut.
Connecticut. Connecticut. Oh, you're not
Yeah.
far. Okay. Um, yeah, and either one of you. Go ahead.
Hi. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm also in New York City in the West Village. This is the first time I'm doing an empathy circle, although I like to think I'm always in an empathy circle. Um, yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right. And I'm John Fargo, Sarah's brother. Obviously in Manhattan at the moment. I reside in Emeryville, which is near Berkeley and Oakland in the Bay Area.
Hmm.
And never formally been in an empathy circle, but I've done some things maybe slightly like it. Yeah, through various workshops and teaching kind of win-win types of communication things. So great to be here.
Wonderful. Welcome. And Akshaya is actually an empathy circle facilitator. She's in India, approaching midnight there, and she'll just be on listening mode. So, so I hope that's okay. Akshaya is really, really lovely. She's an assistant professor in India and an empathy circle facilitator. So, welcome, Akshaya, if you're still awake there. Um, so, to restate the questions, or are we okay with the questions? Yeah,
Think,
whatever.
okay.
Yeah, if death, dying, and rebirth are meaningful to you in your life and contribute to you in your life, reflection on death, dying, and rebirth, or reincarnation, is it part of your worldview and or not, and why not? And there's of course no right answer. And, I mean, there might be a right answer, but that's for you to explore. Um, so yeah, I will be the first listener. Since and Gyatso, would you like to be the first speaker?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Ready. Okay, time has begun. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say, but as I explore rebirth more and more, I think I become more convinced. I have more faith in it. But at the beginning, it took a lot of research.
So you're hesitating what to say, and you're reflecting on rebirth, and you aren't like 100% accepting of it, perhaps, but the more you explore, the more accepting of it you are.
Yeah, and I kind of felt bad, like I should believe in rebirth because I'm a Buddhist and now I'm a monastic. But I think it's okay to have this sort of this line of totally believing 100% and totally not believing. And I feel okay in this gray area in between. It's not so bad.
And so because you're a monastic, you feel this like this should that you know, as a Buddhist, that you should believe in rebirth, but you're not 100% sure. And you think that it's fine to be and kind of abide in this gray area between 100% acceptance and 100% rejection. So kind of, you know, a not sure place.
Right. So it felt kind of uncomfortable at first, like I should choose one or the other. So it took me a while to sort of sort things out and get more comfortable and used to being not totally sure. That's fine.
And you also shared that you've done quite a lot of research, and so you say that it has taken you time to get comfortable with this. Like at first, you thought you had to pick one or the other, and now you realize that that's not essential. You can just remain in this question mark space.
Right. And I think some of the most convincing things for me are like children who can speak languages they're not familiar with, and children who can like play instruments incredibly well, brilliant scholars, even though they haven't been exposed to this information as children. That really like hits it for me.
So what really kind of you know, is you find quite convincing as children who have these incredible abilities. You know, all of a sudden they're tiny children and they can speak foreign languages or that they are not exposed to in this lifetime, or virtuoso musicians who were not trained as musicians and just have this innate ability, you know, coming into the world, so to speak.
Yeah, perfect. Virtuoso is the word I was looking for, and you nailed it. But what else I was thinking? Yes, my teacher, Venerable Thupten Chodron, explains that the mind is indestructible. It's always existed, so it can't be destroyed. So if you go back to that previous moment, yesterday, the day before, all the way to the moment you were born, where did that first moment of mind come from? It must have come from somewhere. So rebirth makes sense.
So you're sharing that Venerable Thupten Chodron, your teacher at Sravasti Abbey, she talks about the indestructibleness of the mind, and that each mind moment that we experience, there was a previous mind moment, like before I was on the computer, right, or when I was putting together those slides, or reading Bob Thurman's book. So if we keep going back all the way to our first moment, you know, when we open our eyes, you know, where did that first moment of awareness of mind come from? It must have come from somewhere.
Yeah, thank you. I feel great.
Okay. So now, as the listener, it's my turn to be the speaker. So, um, do you feel ready to listen to me? One of you?
Janna,
Yeah?
uh, hi Janna, greetings to all. Janna, as I told you, I'm slightly unwell, but I want to take part. So, can I request you, can I be the speaker? Is it possible?
Can you listen to me first and then be the speaker?
Yes, I can listen to you very well.
It's wonderful to hear your voice, and I'm really happy that you're participating. Okay. Um, so, uh, I guess I'll share that I grew up, you know, in a Western Jewish household. Reincarnation was not part of my worldview.
Janna, you want me to be the speaker?
You just reflect what I say.
Okay. I'm sorry, can you just come again?
Sure. I grew up in the West, in America, in a Jewish household. And reincarnation was not part of my worldview. It was not part of any place in my, you know, my universe,
Yeah,
my
okay.
my
Uh,
my egocentric
Janna,
universe.
yes. Janna said that she grew up in a Jewish family and she was not much acquainted with reincarnation and such concepts.
Yeah, not at all. And you know, So I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know when I first started learning about reincarnation or hearing ghost stories from lots of people. But I had a giant question mark. Like I used to say, like over my head about reincarnation. Can you hear me? Can you reflect? We can't hear you.
Oh,
You're
I
breaking up.
had heard, am I,
You're breaking
you
up.
hear me now?
Now I hear you. Yeah.
Okay, Janice said that she had heard about some ghost stories and nothing more than that.
Yeah, and so I had a huge question mark about reincarnation. I didn't know existed, not existed, and it didn't really concern me much.
Okay, so you had a big question mark, and whether it exists or not, whether it's a reality, you were not sure. There was a big question mark.
Yeah, but the more I explored, and I've read volumes of accounts of people who remember their previous lives, people who remember through past life regression and discovered and figured out who they were. Ian Stevenson's research, scientific research. I've read a lot, and also, the Buddhist teachings. Uh, so I am now 100% convinced.
Yes. Jenna says that she did a lot of deep reading and research, and also she took the Buddhist philosophy and thought process, and now she is 100% convinced that rebirth and reincarnation is not just bookish, it's a reality.
Yeah, and a few more seconds, so I'll say that I used to think that the 14th Dalai Lama, like that was just some spiritual, religious nonsense, some belief. I didn't think it was really true.
Mm-hmm. Jana felt that the 14th Dalai Lama was just nonsense, and she didn't believe in it as a reality.
Yeah. Okay, I feel heard. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay,
So, so you can
can I be the
speak now?
speaker?
Yeah, pick your
Yeah,
listener.
great.
Can you see the people? Can you pick Jane or Sarah or John or Gyatsola? Gyatsola spoke already. Um,
Okay. Can I choose what is his name? Gyatso? Is it okay?
it's okay. Yeah, you'll just get another demo. It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So thank you, Gyatso, for being my listener, and I'll go ahead. Since I'm born and brought up in India, and Buddhism and Hinduism have a very deep research about akarma, thought process, death, rebirth, etc.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh,
Right.
oh, oh,
So,
oh.
Akshaya, you grew up in India, and there's a lot of Hinduism and Buddhism that was around you. And so you were accustomed to it as you were growing up. And there's this deep search for knowledge and understanding. And this was part of how you became an adult. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. And when I read this book by Thurman, which is a magnificent book, I came to know about some uh, important thought process about life. That is living dead and dying life.
What was the last part? Leaving dead?
Living
Living
dead.
dead and dying life.
Oh, living dead and dying life. Okay, so
Yeah.
you read Bob Thurman's book, The Bardo, and you found it was very inspirational and powerful for you. And it has lessons for how you can improve your life.
Yes. And I would like to tell everybody about, since I am also into peace studies and peace teaching, etc. I found living dead and dying life to be the principle of our human life.
So you found living dead and dying life is a principle of sort of an ethos that you live by
Of human life.
of human life, not just for you, but for everyone. Okay.
Yes, thank you. And the difference is living dead means we are living, we are alive, but we are dead. Why are we dead? We are dead because of anger, jealousy, ego, misunderstanding. We are as good as dead, though we are alive. That is living dead.
Right. So living dead for you means that we're physically alive, but it sounds like we're emotionally dead. We're not in, well, I'm adding on. I shouldn't do that. But but you're saying that we have all these afflictions that make us feel like we're actually dead, right?
Yeah, that is what Hinduism philosophy as well as Buddhism philosophy believes in, that a life like living physically alive but dead emotionally and spiritually is death.
Right. So being physically alive, but emotionally and spiritually dead means you're actually, you could call yourself dead because you're not actually really alive in a real way.
Yeah, and both the philosophies talk about dying life. Dying life means we must learn to live in the present, and we must forget anger, uh, egoism, jealousy, and indulge in love and cooperation.
So dying life means that we need to remember to let go of our afflictions, all of our attachment, anger, and other problems, and really embrace love and compassion and empathy and all these other good qualities.
Yes. So according to both the philosophies, Buddhism and Hinduism, which are like twin ideologies, only if we are able to live a dying life and live in the moment, then our next birth will give us some positive output.
So according to both Hinduism and Buddhism, by living a dying life, then we are able to take a fortunate rebirth in the
And
future.
it's time, Akshaya. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Shaya.
so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
Gyatso.
so much. I really appreciate Gyatso. I feel heard. Thank you so
Good.
much.
Thank you,
Gyatso,
Akshaya.
can I have your email ID if you don't mind?
Sure. Yeah, it's my name
You
at
can just put it in the chat
shrivastyapi.org. Yeah, I'll
box.
do that. Okay. Would anybody
Thank
like
you.
to go next? No, I'm going to choose someone.
I could go.
Okay, Jane, thank you so much for listening. Yes, I'm remembering it's been a while since I did a circle, and I'm remembering how difficult it is, even though it seems really, really easy on paper.
Yeah, you're remembering the experience of a circle rather than the idea of a circle, and that it can actually feel maybe difficult or, yeah.
Yeah, it seems so easy when I just think about it. Okay, I'm just going to talk and reflect. But in the process of trying to remember and to listen deeply, it's something I would like to get more familiar with, but I didn't grow up that way, so it feels very unfamiliar right now.
Yeah, it's a moment where you realize that you are not so familiar with the practice of reflecting and listening to this extent. And yeah, the experience proves itself to be a challenge from what you're used to.
Exactly. But I've had conversations where it wasn't like a formal empathy circle, but just talking with my friends and listening deeply to what they're saying and reflecting back in kind of a casual, just normal conversational way. I found it to be really powerful and really connecting with me and the other person.
But you have had experiences that are reminiscent in conversations with your friends where you feel very supported and heard. So even though the empathy circle feels somewhat difficult and challenging, you know that you do have some grounds for um, feeling familiar with the experience.
Right. And it feels like the more I do it, the more comfortable it becomes. But just knowing that I can apply it in my daily life and really listen deeply to everyone that I'm interacting with is really positive.
Yeah, you feel positive about the chance to take this practice into your daily life now that it feels easier with every new try.
Yeah, definitely. And we have a nonviolent communication class in my monastery. And sometimes we'll just do empathy circles and just listen to each other deeply. And I find it really bonds the group together and it has like a really warm feeling.
Yes, in your nonviolent communication class, you get more opportunities to practice hearing others and feeling heard by others, and also experience the bonding effect that it has amongst groups of people.
Right. Yeah. So, mm, so yeah, that's all. Thank you. I feel heard.
Thank you.
So pick your listener and maybe pick Sarah or John because they haven't had a turn yet.
Yeah, I will pick Sarah as my listener. Um, so on the subject of rebirth, I was definitely connecting with what both Janna and Gyatso have said about the inheritance of a belief system that doesn't really factor in um, rebirth, and it kind of goes against the grain of what we learned.
Okay. So you related to what Gyatso and Jenna talked about in terms of uh, learning about a rebirthing or what those beliefs are and not being sure about them. You related to that.
Yes, and I thought it was interesting that two pathways presented themselves. Janna feels 100% convinced now, and Gyatso feels in between. I probably find myself on the in between side, but also very curious and open.
Okay. I heard that you found it interesting that there were two different diverging ways, and that Jenna is now 100% convinced that there is reincarnation, rebirthing, and Gyatso is kind of leaning towards that, but isn't 100% sure and is still curious about it. And you're probably more in the vein of Gyatso, and you're very curious to keep contemplating and finding out more.
Yes, and most of all in this point in my life, I come to the idea of rebirth as a student of psychology and um, reincarnation that happens within the course of a lifetime, of a person's lifetime, ways that we die and are reborn as we grow older.
You're approaching your contemplation of reincarnation through kind of the lens of studying psychology and you find it really interesting about like how many times one is kind of reincarnated in effect in the course of their own lifetime in terms of learning different things and applying them as you get older.
Yes, and I'm entirely inspired and convinced by studying that type of growth and death and rebirth within the course of a life. Well, so it opens me up to the concept of extending outside of the bounds of a lifetime. Although I'm not sure that I am 100%.
Okay. So the idea of one having a lot of births and deaths in effect within one's own lifetime makes you feel like it's quite possible, maybe even probable, that would extend beyond one's lifetime, and therefore reincarnation is possible, but you're still not 100% convinced. But I feel like, well, no, I don't feel. You see how that could be possible. Like the microcosm could be the macrocosm.
Thank you.
And, Sarah?
Jane? Oh my gosh, can my brother listen to me? Let's see if he can.
We'll find out. You can pick anyone, but you can pick John. He hasn't had a turn yet. If you
yeah, I'll pick John. Absolutely.
Yeah, she can sock me if you.
All right.
Shakti.
Okay. Well, so I've been on the fence about reincarnation. I would say for most of my life, having grown up in a Western, waspy, white Chicago suburb that didn't really focus on such things.
So Sarah is saying, you are saying that you have been feeling virtually all your life on the fence about whether reincarnation is a reality or not. And that's been mainly due to kind of a suburban, waspy type of upbringing. Probably other influences since then as well that haven't really moved you one side of the fence or the other, but you're still there examining it.
And having experienced the loss of several family members in the last 4 years, and lots of reading and delving into the subject, I would say, all right, I'd go with 99% sure. I'm 99% sure that there is reincarnation.
All right, so having had the experience the last roughly 4 years of several deaths in the family, she's really kind of not only studied within herself, but likely in things outside of herself. And that's definitely, she didn't say it quite this way, but it's moved it from fence to 99, pretty close to 99% sure that this is part of the way the cosmos and universe works.
Yes. And being a kind of literal and science leaning person, I feel like the concept of energy, you can't end energy. Energy doesn't just stop and start. It has to go somewhere. And that's just a fact. So that even further supports the idea that there is reincarnation for me. Did I give you too much? No.
No, I kind of blew it. I was slightly thinking of things I was thinking of.
All right, that's okay.
But
You can ask her to repeat.
yeah, at least repeat some
Okay.
of the gist.
Yeah, no. The basics are that I feel like I am a pretty literal scientist. Like I like to lean on the science, and you can't have a scientific definition of reincarnation, but the fact that energy, you can't end energy. It has to go somewhere. When there's no death of energy, it has to go somewhere. So that makes me believe more.
All right. So especially with the importance of science in at least informing an overall view of this, it seems as if that is pretty convincing, especially from that standpoint of energy and the conservation of energy, that there would be continuance of life beyond we're seeing here in this life.
Nailed it.
Pretty decent.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. I feel heard.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
It's too bad we can't. I know I ate
No.
up more of the
No.
talk there.
No. It's all good.
All right.
We
Let's
see
see.
you.
Say it again.
We see you.
Yes. All right. So yeah, we'll circle back to Janna then.
Whoops. Sorry.
Hmm.
So similar to my sister. I mean, we grew up Methodist in some suburbs of Chicago. So other than maybe an initial like a Laurel and Hardy thing where somebody came back as a donkey or something, there really wasn't much about reincarnation. It was more of a Christian type view of any kind of an afterlife or continuance of the soul.
So you're sharing that you and Sarah both grew up in suburbs of Chicago and you grew up Methodist. And so as Methodists, there was really no reincarnation other than some Laurel and Hardy joke, but reincarnation
Yes.
as a mule.
So continuing that part of this would be definitely I had a lot of influence relatively early on, like through the Beatles and in my college days, a book by Lin Yutang. So I had just all sorts of Buddhist, Taoism, etc. And they all probably here and there touched on reincarnation. But what really impressed me was, for lack of the better word, infinity, and how it's infinity and not infinity at the same time. So it's like infinite life and infinite focus, but even that was infinite life within that. So, the mandalic, recursive, all these things were already kind of hitting me back in college and mid-70s, we'll call it.
So you're sharing different kind of formations, like as growing up, different influences, the Beatles and, Chinese Buddhism and different possible influences. But what really made an impact for you was actually the concept of infinity, an infinite continuum, and non-infinity. Non-infinity being, I guess, the total present moment, I'm guessing.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling heard in that. Thank you very much. The words are automatically imperfect. Not that they're bad or wrong, but that's, the creative impulse is at one and the same time just vast and divergent. Like, well, you can't pin this one down because this one's happening over here. So yeah, you said that beautifully. And so for me now, doing the fence thing and the 99%, part of me, quote, doesn't care because there's just this feeling in my heart that it can make me cry. Everything's supported and loved. And, if you want to figure it out, great. If you don't want to figure it out, maybe in other lifetimes in this lifetime or another lifetime, you'll get things to help you figure out, but did you really need any of that? So I just, well, I'm saying a lot. You need to say it back.
Yeah. So you're quite moved as you're sharing, and you're sharing that the words are inadequate, so that somehow I manage more or less well to share, to reflect back what words are inadequate to express. And that at some point you just feel this openness and this heart connection and this and that creativity is infinitely expansive and not pin downable. And it doesn't really matter at some point whether, in terms of whether it does or doesn't exist 99% or open-minded, it doesn't really matter whether it doesn't concern you at all, really. Like,
It's, yeah. My time's up. Oh, no, it is.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Oh, it's
it
over.
is. It's over.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I can finish reflecting. It's not a hard stop timer. So you um is that
Yeah,
You
complete
did.
that
or
was
not
beautiful.
complete?
That was beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it's not a like giving up or like it's bad or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah. Very
Yeah, it's like whatever it is. It's like if you believe in it or don't believe in it, exists, doesn't exist, all good. It's like it's all,
yeah.
yeah, it's like a
Supported.
non-judging, open awareness. Everything is supported. Everything is supported, is what you said. Yeah, thank you. Akshaya, are you there ready to
Yes.
listen? Are you able to listen? Can you reflect?
Yeah, sure.
I guess you reflected me earlier. Maybe anyway, all right. So we have 10 minutes. So or less than 10 minutes at this point. 6 more minutes. So I can take a turn or not take a turn, but we can just open up the room and just share how this is for us if you like. Would you like to do that, or would you like more turns? We didn't do 3-minute turns. We would have had more turns if we did 3-minute turns. Um,
Okay.
is it all right if I ask Jane because she's new to empathy circles? Akshaya? Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
sure.
All right. So I'll just do like a short turn. Um, I Yeah, so I'm a biologist. I have PhD in biological sciences, and I think that how can you have biology of life when you're just talking about dead matter? It makes no sense.
Yeah. So Jana said that she has a biology PhD, and how can she think and talk about birth and rebirth and all that?
Yeah, and I feel heard, and so you can pick a listener.
I can pick a listener.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine. Can I pick Jane? Jane, will you be my listener, please?
Ready to go.
Okay, great.
short. We'll do like
Uh,
a minute, something like that. A minute, 2 minutes. Okay, very short.
okay.
At times
Yeah,
when
sure. Okay. So, so we are talking about birth, rebirth, and reincarnation. So there is a very clear-cut psychology, science, philosophy, which are integrated and which confirm that our actions decide our next birth, and will it be in good shape or bad shape?
So Akshaya is talking about a very literal strand of these concepts. These are scientific studied concepts that have logical sequences of events based on actions.
Yes, there are so many people who have given evidences of their past birth, where they were born, which language they spoke. They knew that house, what was kept in the cupboard in that house, and what was lost, what was a sequence of events. They can remember it like they're watching a movie. And experts and scientists have studied it. So there is no doubt that there is rebirth.
Mm,
So yeah, there's no doubt because the accounts are just, again, literal and scientifically validated as far as personal testimony can go. Very vivid accounts of rebirth being true.
Yeah, so it's really very important that we live in the moment and we live an ethical life so that we do not get birth in a bad, challenging conditions.
So we'd be taking these literal findings of actions and consequences and conducting ourselves in a more virtuous lifestyle with the knowledge that rebirth is just true and a guarantee.
Yes, otherwise we are doomed to live a very paralyzed life, in the sense we may be born as a dog, as a cat, as a rat, or we may be born as a human being in poverty or in very bad situations, and it's very difficult to live such a life.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can reflect, and then Akshaya will pause. We're going to be brought back pretty soon. So maybe Jane can have one more turn.
Yeah, so Akshaya, and maybe to bring it into also mix it with other things people have been saying. Akshaya is saying, we use the knowledge we have because we don't want a certain outcome. We know, from what Akshaya is presenting, it's it's basically it's a guarantee. We don't want to end up like a dog or a cat or an impoverished person. So we want an upwards consequences, upward sequence of actions and consequences. To factor that in with what everyone's been saying, maybe to speak more conclusively, it does seem like for some people, that is a guarantee. For some people, almost a guarantee, and definitely for everyone, an enriching and transmuting study. Like by studying it and by observing, our actions are changed. Our beliefs, being open or being certain, our actions are still changed. And I think it was really beautiful what John said, that it's kind of just, we are loved and supported in what we do.
So
Yes,
yeah,
thank you so much.
so we have 30 seconds, but if you'd like to share, Sarah and John, something in this very short time, um, just without reflection. You're muted.
Sorry about that. I thought this was really cool, and I found it more challenging than I expected to really deeply listen. And I want to do, yes, I felt like I exercised a very good muscle, and thank you for everything all of you said.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, she said that very well. We were at a birthday party yesterday,
We're
and
going to be gone.
there were so many conversations, and you start one and then go to the next. So this is a really good kind of the middle path as compared to maybe listening to somebody for 15 minutes, just the right amount of time to, and then the, segments